my name is Whitney. I am part of group 3. We are doing goal number 3, which is good health and the well-being of ourselves and our loved ones. Obviously, we all strive for good health, if not great health, and we do that for ourselves and our loved ones, everyone around us. So one way that good health and the well-being of people, animals, and our planet or our environment can be positively affected is through climate change. Climate change is the 13th goal on the UN Sustainable Goal list. Year after year, we see that climate change is being affected. Our sea levels are rising and the CO2 emissions are getting higher. And I have I have written down some things that can help positively reduce the CO2, at least in our lives, and hopefully have an impact if we can all do this together as a whole. So, seeing that I do want to become a teacher, I will aim to promote other means of transportation to the children and the families in my class. So when possible, try to walk or bike to school, maybe even carpool with a family that lives close by. Implementing recycling bins and things like that in my classroom and having that be a positive change within my students' lives and a positive habit. I would also try to implement a no light or low light environment. So a couple times or even just once a day, turning off the lights in our class, allowing some sunlight to come in. This will help reduce the emissions that we ourselves in my classroom can emit. And overall, if we can do that, I'm sure that we can reduce some of our impact and footprint on this planet that we live on. So our goal is to take control and take action on climate change. Some other ways that I haven't discussed are reducing your showers to 5 minutes if possible, driving less obviously, remembering to turn off the lights, recycling like I spoke about, and trying to eat a plant-based meal at least once a week. So these are all really, really important because as we've seen in the past few years, climate change and our emissions have gone up, and if we're able to do this as a whole, we'll be able to reduce the emissions that we produce. So yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, and I'm here to cover why climate action and good health and well-being really matter to us. Why are they important? Well, to start, these goals matter ultimately because of quality of life. Whoever we are, we want to provide a good life for ourselves, our family, and our children. For us in North America, this means getting a good job so we can have a decent home, provide a college education for our kids, and opportunities for them in the future. But our drive for personal growth and safety for our families can easily be offset by disease and a poor environment around us. Good health matters because we want to live long lives and enjoy every moment of life we can. We want others to be able to enjoy that as well. Take the difference between the great healthcare systems we enjoy in North America and other developed nations against third world countries where the dread of needing unobtainable healthcare is an everyday occurrence. Climate action matters because we want ourselves and our children to live in a clean environment. We enjoy incredibly clean air quality here in Canada compared with other countries like, for instance, in Venezuela, where school children walk through halls in school so filled with air pollutants that you can't even see from one end of the school to the other. So obviously these goals matter, but only because we first have a good economy and the opportunity to reach for our dreams. I think it's important for these goals to be used as a direction for growth rather than hard rules on their own. We should be careful to first allow freedoms and incentives for growth in the world, and then implement guiding principles to further improve quality of life. Environmental concerns specifically should be viewed as a way to improve the life for our future generations rather than as a hard and fast rule that reduces the quality of life for ourselves today, in the name of trying to save the planet. These are of course hot political topics, but how do these matter to us today? We have to think about the decisions we make, the opportunities we pursue, and the effects they will have on our families and children. These goals matter in our life because they can help to guide us to a better future. A large-scale decision about good health and well-being might be a humanitarian mission to a third world country. A smaller scale decision might be teaching our kids about healthy eating or making the choice to eat a salad instead of a cheeseburger. Perhaps I can make sure to get the medical screening recommended at certain ages of my life so that I can live a longer life and spread the word for others to do the same. A large-scale decision about climate change might be creating a new clean energy device, whereas an everyday decision might be purchasing an electric vehicle. The things that I learned from doing this assignment was that these UN goals for every country seem like big and lofty goals, but we can take them and apply them to our lives to some degree. When we think about the small decisions that we make, we should keep those things in mind, that we do want to make sure that we stay healthy for ourselves and for our children, and that we do our part that we see fit for helping the environment around us. Thank you for this great opportunity.
Hi everybody, it's Jody from Team 3, here to talk to you about implementation in the workplace in regards to the UN Sustainability Goals spoken to and introduced in the first two parts. So implementation in the workplace. There's many things that we can do in our workplaces, regardless of where you work, to improve both your wellness and well-being, as well as to combat climate change. And collectively, we can be a healthier people and planet. Our two goals include, as you know, wellness individually, and that includes health, as well as climate action. And our team felt that these two initiatives, or these two goals particularly, go well hand in hand together, and things that you can do at your workplace can both positively impact your health as well as the health of the planet. For example, in the workplace, you can look to your workplace and say, do you have, of course, the medical and health benefits and what those benefits include and how they take care of their employees and how they can be bettered. Things that you can do in and around the office include wellness challenges, how to incentivize people to take care of themselves and make it fun and interesting. Employee assistance programs can be used to make sure everybody's doing well and give a place for people to be checking in, as well as, for example, things like smoking cessation programs, or moving on to climate change and how we can take action in the workplace around climate change. Of course, there's the obvious recycling, looking around and saying, what does your workplace do in regards to recycling? Can you take actions that would conserve energy in the workplace, or can you go paperless to decrease the amount of waste that you're generating, as well as the impact that paper production has environmentally, and can you reduce the amount of paper that you use? Can you support local and or green vendors in your business is another way to stay local, stay smaller, reduce your carbon footprint that has a positive impact on the world. Another thing that will, and then there's a number of initiatives that we identified that would cross over. For example, getting plants for your office. Plants can help to combat climate change, but they also create a warm and welcoming environment that can indeed help people feel more at ease and enjoyable in their workspace. So plants are a great initiative that you could undertake to populate your workspace with. And things that also cross over and address both goals are things like transit. You know, how are you getting to work? Can you walk to work? Can you carpool? These actions would not only help with the climate change, obviously, but also can promote human connection and therefore help people with their mental health, biking to work with a friend, that sort of thing. So hopefully those are some ideas that you can take away and try in your own workplace.
Hello everyone, my name is Jane, and I would like to talk about my takeaways from doing this project. I've realized that it can be quite intimidating to think of these really big goals that we have to achieve. But remember, big changes start with little steps. There are numerous ways we as individuals can contribute to the success of the sustainable goals. In this day and age, we're both blessed and cursed with the freedom and of availability of information on the internet. But disadvantages aside, we have all the knowledge at the tips of our fingers. We can easily educate ourselves on any subject, and in our case, we encourage you to dig deeper into sustainable goals and how we can help to achieve them. As Jody mentioned, we can start small, and instead of driving to work, for example, we can walk or ride a bicycle, which contributes both to health and well-being, as well as the climate change goal. Other positive behaviors would include switching to an electric vehicle, building houses which incorporate solar power, properly and diligently recycling, and so much more. After doing the research, I must admit, I was slightly crestfallen when I saw how far off track we were in regards to climate change. But seeing those numbers has really reignited the fire to act now and act fast. I encourage you all to take a look at the climateactiontracker.org, as it provides valuable information on the progress. We also had to dive into the goal of health and well-being. As far as this subject goes, we are responsible for our own health and wellness, as well as the well-being of our children. But to be able to provide for our children, we must first be able to take care of ourselves, and that includes both physical and mental nourishment. Since the beginning of the pandemic, there has been a drastic decline in mental health. So now more than ever, we need to make time for self-care. I have personally found some things to be very helpful in fighting off those unwanted negative feelings. Firstly, make an effort every day to disconnect from the devices. This immediately cuts off the endless stream of negative news and media, and it also gives you the opportunity to be present in the moment and to notice the world around us. Secondly, make an effort to connect with people. Everyone is struggling right now, so don't forget to be kind to one another. We have included some links to some resources we found quite interesting. There's some TED Talks and some websites that will show the trackers. Take a moment, go through them, educate yourself. Together, by making these small steps, we will be able to achieve those goals and ensure the overall well-being of our planet for us and for the generations to come. Thank you.